What if I told you that most of the pain you feel in life has nothing to do with what happens to you, and everything to do with how much power you give it? Think about that for a moment. Right now, somewhere in the world, two people are experiencing the exact same situation. One person is breaking down, stressed, angry, overwhelmed. The other person is calm, focused, completely unaffected. Same situation, different reaction, and that difference changes everything. Because the truth most people never learn is this: life doesn't control your emotions. Your mind does. Yet most people go through life allowing everything to affect them. A comment from a stranger ruins their entire day. A small criticism destroys their confidence. Someone ignores their message and suddenly their mind starts creating stories. They overthink. They stress. They replay conversations again and again in their heads. Hours pass. Sometimes days pass. And they are still carrying the emotional weight of something that happened in a few seconds. This silent habit quietly drains their energy. It steals their peace. It steals their focus. And eventually, it steals their happiness. But here is the truth that emotionally powerful people understand. Not everything deserves a reaction. In fact, the strongest people in the world are not the ones who react the fastest. They are the ones who react the least. They are the ones who remain calm when others lose control. They are the ones who understand a secret most people spend their entire lives trying to figure out. Your peace is too valuable to be controlled by someone else's words. Think about how many times you have allowed someone else's opinion to live inside your mind. Maybe someone criticized your work. Maybe someone doubted your dreams. Maybe someone made a negative comment that stayed with you far longer than it should have. And without realizing it, you carried that moment with you. You replayed it. You analyzed it. You questioned yourself because of it. But here's the real question. Why should someone else's words have that much power over your mind? Why should a few seconds of negativity control hours of your emotional state? Why should someone who barely understands your life have the authority to affect your peace? The answer is simple. They shouldn't. But most people were never taught how to protect their mind. They were never taught how to separate their inner world from the chaos of the outside world. So they react to everything. Every opinion. Every criticism, every small inconvenience, every piece of negativity. And slowly, without realizing it, they become emotionally controlled by the world around them. But imagine what would happen if you stopped giving that power away. Imagine walking into any situation with complete emotional control. Someone criticizes you, and it doesn't disturb your peace. Someone doubts you, and you continue moving forward without hesitation. Someone tries to provoke you, and you remain calm while they lose control. This kind of emotional strength changes your entire life. Because once you stop reacting to everything, you start seeing the world differently. You stop wasting energy on meaningless drama. You stop explaining yourself to people who never intended to understand you. You stop carrying emotional weight that was never yours to begin with. And suddenly, life becomes lighter, calmer, clearer. The truth is, emotional freedom is one of the greatest powers a human being can develop. It allows you to move through life with clarity while others are lost in emotional storms. It allows you to focus on your goals while others are distracted by opinions. It allows you to remain steady while others collapse under pressure. And this is not something reserved for a few extraordinary people. It is a skill that can be learned, a skill that can be practiced, a skill that can transform your mindset completely. But before you can master this skill, you must understand one powerful truth. The world will never stop testing you. People will always have opinions. Some people will criticize you. Some people will misunderstand you. Some people will judge you based on things they know nothing about. And if you allow every one of these moments to affect your peace, you will spend your life emotionally exhausted. But the moment you stop reacting automatically, the moment you stop absorbing every negative word, the moment you stop giving your energy to things that don't deserve it, you become emotionally free. And emotional freedom is one of the most powerful forms of strength a person can have. Because when nothing can easily disturb your mind, you gain something incredibly rare in today's world. Control. Control over your thoughts. Control over your reactions. Control over your energy. And the person who controls their mind controls their life. Most people believe strength means fighting every battle. But real strength is knowing which battles deserve your attention and which ones deserve your silence. Because silence is not weakness. Silence is discipline. Silence is awareness. Silence is the quiet confidence of someone who knows their worth does not depend on other people's approval. Once you understand this, something powerful begins to happen inside you. You stop reacting to everything. You start observing. You start choosing your responses instead of being controlled by your emotions. And this simple shift changes the way you experience the world. Because when you control your reactions, the world loses its ability to control you. And that is where real power begins. Because the moment you stop reacting to everything, you start noticing something most people never see. You start seeing how many people are controlled by their emotions. You see arguments that never needed to happen. You see anger that could have been avoided. You see people wasting hours of their lives fighting battles that bring them absolutely nothing. And suddenly you realize something important. Most people are not reacting to reality. They are reacting to their interpretation of reality. Someone says one sentence, and the mind immediately starts creating a story. Why did they say that? Do they not respect me? Are they trying to insult me? Do they think I'm not good enough? Within seconds, the mind creates a chain reaction of thoughts. Those thoughts create emotions. Those emotions create reactions. And those reactions create consequences. All from a single moment that may not have even meant what we imagined. This is how people lose control of their peace. Not because of what happens, but because of the meaning they attach to what happens. Emotionally strong people understand this deeply. They know that not every thought deserves attention. Not every emotion deserves action. Not every situation deserves a reaction. They pause. They observe. They give themselves space between the moment and the response. And that small space changes everything. Because in that space, you regain your power. Think about the last time someone said something that upset you. Maybe it was a comment. Maybe it was criticism. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. Now imagine that same moment again. But this time, imagine something different. Imagine hearing those words. And instead of reacting immediately, you pause. Just a few seconds. You breathe. You observe your emotions rising. You feel the anger, the frustration, the irritation trying to take control. But instead of letting those emotions drive your response, you simply watch them. And something interesting happens. Emotions, when observed calmly, begin to lose their intensity, like waves that rise and slowly fall back into the ocean. But when we react instantly, we ride the wave. And suddenly we are being carried by emotions instead of guiding them. This is why emotional discipline is one of the most valuable skills you can ever develop. Because life will test your patience again and again. Someone will question your abilities. Someone will doubt your decisions. Someone will misunderstand your intentions. And if every one of these moments controls your emotional state, you will constantly feel unstable. But when you develop emotional discipline, you create stability within yourself. And that stability becomes your greatest advantage. Because calm people think clearly. Calm people make better decisions. Calm people see opportunities where others see problems. While others are reacting emotionally, you are thinking strategically. While others are wasting energy on drama, you are moving forward. While others are arguing about opinions, you are building your future. And over time, this difference becomes enormous. Because success in life is not just about intelligence. It is about emotional control. Many talented people fail because they react emotionally to every obstacle. They give up too quickly. They argue too often. They allow criticism to destroy their confidence. But emotionally disciplined people are different. They expect challenges. They expect criticism. They expect moments when things don't go their way. But instead of letting those moments shake them, they remain steady. They adapt. They move forward. And eventually, they win. Not because life was easier for them, but because they refuse to allow negativity to control their mind. Another powerful shift happens when you stop letting everything affect you. You begin to realize that most negativity has nothing to do with you. It comes from other people's struggles, other people's insecurities, other people's frustrations. Sometimes someone speaks with anger not because of something you did, but because of something they are dealing with in their own life. Someone might criticize you because they doubt themselves. Someone might judge you because they feel threatened by your confidence. Someone might try to provoke you simply because they want attention. But if you react emotionally every time this happens, you become part of their chaos. Emotionally strong people refuse to join that chaos. They observe it. They understand it. But they do not absorb it. Imagine walking through a storm with a powerful shield. The wind blows. The rain falls. The storm is intense. but you remain protected. That shield is your mindset. It allows you to move through difficult situations without letting them penetrate your inner peace. And the more you strengthen that shield, the less the outside world can disturb your balance. One of the greatest mistakes people make is believing they must respond to everything. Every comment, every message, every opinion. But the truth is, responding to everything is a sign of emotional weakness, because it means the outside world controls your attention. Emotionally powerful people are selective. They choose what deserves their time. They choose what deserves their energy. They choose what deserves their response. And many times, the most powerful response is no response at all. Silence confuses people who expect a reaction. Calmness frustrates people who want conflict. Indifference disarms people who try to provoke you. And the more you practice this, the stronger you become. At first, it may feel uncomfortable. Your mind may still want to defend itself. Your ego may want to prove something. But with time, something changes. You begin to realize that not every opinion deserves a reply. Not every argument deserves participation. Not every criticism deserves attention. Because your energy is limited. And the way you spend that energy determines the quality of your life. If you spend it on negativity, you will feel drained. If you spend it on conflict, you will feel exhausted. But if you spend it on growth, purpose, and progress, your life begins to move in a completely different direction. This is the quiet advantage of emotional control. While others are distracted by drama, you are building something meaningful. While others are reacting impulsively, you are thinking clearly. While others are chasing validation, you are creating your own path. And slowly, without needing to prove anything to anyone, you begin to rise. People start noticing something different about you. You don't react like everyone else. You don't argue about small things. You don't let negativity shake your confidence. You remain calm even in situations that would normally create stress. And that calmness becomes your reputation. Because calmness signals strength. It tells the world that your mind is not easily controlled. It tells people that you are focused on something bigger than temporary drama. It tells people that you understand something many never learn. Peace is power. And the person who protects their peace protects their future. The person who protects their peace protects their future. Because the truth is simple, even if most people never realize it. Your mind is the control center of your entire life. Every decision you make, every opportunity you take, every relationship you build, every goal you chase, all of it is influenced by the condition of your mind. And when your mind is constantly disturbed by every opinion, every criticism, every small problem, it becomes impossible to think clearly. Imagine trying to drive a car while dozens of people are shouting directions at you from every side. Turn left. No, turn right. You're doing it wrong. Slow down. Speed up. Why are you even driving? Eventually, you would become confused, distracted, overwhelmed. And that is exactly what happens inside the minds of most people every day. Too many voices, too many opinions, too many reactions. They absorb everything. Every negative comment, every piece of criticism, every moment of rejection. Instead of filtering what enters their mind, they allow everything inside. But emotionally strong people treat their mind differently. They understand something incredibly important. Your mind is not a public space. It is private property. And just like you wouldn't allow strangers to walk into your home and start throwing garbage everywhere, you should not allow random opinions to enter your mind and destroy your peace. You must become selective. Selective about what you listen to. Selective about what you believe. Selective about what deserves your attention. Because attention is the gateway to influence. Whatever you focus on begins to shape your thoughts. Your thoughts begin to shape your emotions. And your emotions begin to shape your actions. That is why protecting your focus is one of the most powerful forms of self-respect. Most people underestimate this. They believe strength means fighting every battle. They believe strength means responding to every attack. But the reality is completely different. Real strength is the ability to remain calm when others try to disturb you. Real strength is the discipline to ignore what does not matter. Real strength is knowing when to walk away. Walking away does not mean you are weak. Sometimes walking away is the strongest thing you can do. Because when you walk away from unnecessary conflict, you are choosing your peace over your ego. And the ego is one of the biggest reasons people allow everything to affect them. The ego constantly whispers in your mind. You must defend yourself. You must prove them wrong. You must show them they cannot talk to you like that. But here is the problem with that mindset. If you try to prove yourself to everyone, you will spend your entire life exhausted. Because there will always be another opinion, another criticism, another person who misunderstands you, another voice trying to pull your attention away from what truly matters. And if you chase every one of those voices, you will never have time to build the life you actually want. Successful people understand this early. They realize that trying to please everyone is impossible. Trying to satisfy everyone is exhausting. Trying to control everyone's opinion is a waste of energy. So instead of chasing approval, they focus on purpose. Instead of reacting to criticism, they focus on improvement. Instead of arguing with negativity, they invest their energy in progress. This shift in mindset is incredibly powerful, because the moment you stop needing approval, you become free. Free from the pressure of other people's expectations. Free from the anxiety of constant judgment. Free from the emotional roller coaster created by outside opinions. And when you reach that level of freedom, your confidence becomes stronger than ever. Not because everyone supports you, but because you no longer need everyone to support you. Confidence built on approval is fragile, but confidence built on self-awareness is unshakable. Emotionally powerful people understand who they are. They understand their values. They understand their direction. And because of that clarity, they are not easily shaken by the opinions of others. Think about the most focused person you know. Someone who is deeply committed to their goals. Notice something about them. They do not react to everything. They do not waste energy on small conflicts. They do not argue about meaningless topics. Their attention is directed towards something bigger. And because of that focus, distractions lose their power over them. This is one of the secrets behind emotional independence. When your life has a clear direction, small things stop affecting you as much. Petty comments become irrelevant. Minor disagreements become unimportant. Temporary negativity becomes background noise. Because your attention is focused on something greater than the moment. But when people have no clear direction, every small problem feels enormous. Every comment feels personal. Every disagreement feels like a battle. And life begins to feel heavy. This is why purpose is so important. Purpose gives your mind something meaningful to focus on. It gives your energy a direction. And when your energy has direction, it becomes harder for random negativity to pull you away from your path. But there is another truth that must be understood. You cannot control how people behave. You cannot control what people say. You cannot control how people think. But you can always control how you respond. This is the foundation of emotional strength. Control what you can control. Release what you cannot control. Many people suffer because they try to control things that are impossible to control. They try to control other people's opinions. They try to control how others treat them. They try to control every situation. But life does not work that way. People will behave in ways you don't expect. Situations will unfold in ways you cannot predict. And sometimes things will simply be outside of your influence. The sooner you accept this, the lighter your life becomes. Because instead of fighting reality, you begin to adapt to it. Instead of reacting emotionally to every challenge, you respond with awareness. And awareness creates clarity. When you are aware, you begin to see situations differently. Someone criticizes you. Instead of reacting emotionally, you ask yourself a simple question. Is this criticism useful? If it is useful, you learn from it. If it is not useful, you release it. No drama. No emotional storm. Just clarity. This simple mindset saves enormous amounts of energy. Energy that can now be used for growth. Energy that can now be used for building your future. Energy that can now be used for becoming the person you truly want to become. Over time, this discipline transforms you. You become calmer. You become more focused. You become more resilient. And people begin to notice something different about you. You do not react like everyone else. You do not allow small problems to control your emotions. You remain steady even when situations become difficult. And that steadiness becomes one of your greatest strengths. Because in a world where many people lose control of their emotions quickly, the person who remains calm stands out. The person who thinks clearly stands out. The person who refuses to be controlled by negativity stands out. And that person becomes someone others respect. Not because they demand respect, but because their presence naturally commands it. And it all begins with a simple decision. The decision to stop letting everything affect you. The decision to protect your mind. The decision to take back control of your emotional world. Because once you master that skill, life begins to change in ways you never expected. The chaos around you may still exist, but inside your mind, there will be calm. And calmness is the foundation of real power. Calmness is the foundation of real power. Because when your mind becomes calm, something remarkable begins to happen. You start seeing life more clearly than most people ever will. Situations that once felt overwhelming begin to look small. Problems that once controlled your emotions begin to lose their grip on you. You start realizing that most of the things people worry about every day are temporary. A comment, an opinion, a disagreement, a misunderstanding. They appear suddenly, create noise for a moment, and then disappear. But the damage they cause only happens when we keep carrying them in our minds long after the moment has passed. Emotionally strong people understand this better than anyone else. They understand that holding on to negativity is like carrying a heavy bag on your back while walking through life. Every criticism adds another stone. Every insult adds another weight. Every argument adds another burden. And eventually the bag becomes so heavy that you can barely move forward. But here is the powerful truth most people never realize. You can drop the bag anytime you choose. You can decide that someone else's anger is not your responsibility. You can decide that someone else's opinion does not define your value. You can decide that someone else's negativity does not deserve space inside your mind. And the moment you make that decision, you begin to feel lighter. This does not mean you stop caring about life. It means you start caring about the right things. You care about your growth. You care about your purpose. You care about building a life that reflects your values. But you stop caring about things that only drain your energy. You stop giving emotional reactions to situations that do not deserve your attention. This is not weakness. This is wisdom. Because wisdom teaches you something very important about life. Not every battle deserves your participation. Imagine a person who stops to argue with every stranger who disagrees with them. Their journey becomes slow and exhausting. They never move forward because they are constantly distracted by unnecessary fights. Now imagine another person walking the same road. They hear criticism. They hear opinions. They hear negativity. But they keep walking. They stay focused on their destination. They understand that stopping for every argument would only delay their progress. That is the mindset of someone who refuses to let everything affect them. They do not waste energy trying to control what other people think. Instead, they invest their energy in becoming stronger, wiser, and more focused. And this focus begins to transform their life. Because when your energy is not scattered in 100 different directions, it becomes powerful. It becomes concentrated. Like sunlight passing through a magnifying glass, focused energy creates results. It creates growth. It creates progress. It creates a life that moves forward instead of staying trapped in emotional reactions. Over time, you begin to notice another powerful change. The things that once triggered you no longer have the same effect. The opinions that once disturbed your peace start to feel distant and unimportant. The conflicts that once consumed your attention begin to feel like noise that fades into the background. You start developing something incredibly valuable: emotional distance. This does not mean you stop feeling emotions. It means you stop allowing emotions to control your behavior. You begin to observe situations with clarity instead of reacting with impulse. And that clarity allows you to make better decisions. It allows you to respond with intelligence instead of reacting with anger. It allows you to protect your peace even when the world around you becomes chaotic. This is one of the greatest advantages a person can have in life. Because life will always test you. There will always be moments when things do not go the way you planned. There will always be people who misunderstand you. There will always be challenges that push your patience. But when your mind is disciplined, these moments stop controlling you. Instead of breaking you, they strengthen you. Instead of distracting you, they sharpen your focus. Instead of draining your energy, they become lessons that help you grow. And that is when you begin to realize something extraordinary. Emotional strength is not about avoiding challenges. It is about becoming so mentally strong that challenges cannot shake your foundation. Once you reach that level of strength, you move through life differently. You walk with quiet confidence. You speak with calm clarity. You respond with thoughtful intention. And people notice it. They notice that you do not react like everyone else. They notice that small things do not disturb you. They notice that you remain steady even in difficult situations. And that steadiness becomes a form of influence. Because calm people create calm environments. Focused people inspire focus in others. Strong minds encourage strength in those around them. Without trying to prove anything, you begin to become someone others look up to. Someone who leads by example. Someone who demonstrates that emotional control is one of the most powerful forms of strength a person can develop. And the journey to that strength begins with a simple commitment. A commitment to protect your mind. A commitment to guard your energy. A commitment to stop letting everything affect you. The more you practice this commitment, the stronger you become. Each time you choose calm instead of anger, you build emotional discipline. Each time you ignore unnecessary negativity, you strengthen your focus. Each time you walk away from pointless conflict, you protect your peace. And slowly, day by day, your mindset transforms. You stop being controlled by the world around you. You start becoming the person who controls how they experience the world. That is real freedom. Freedom is not just about having time or money. True freedom is having control over your mind. It is the ability to remain calm in a noisy world. It is the ability to stay focused when distractions appear everywhere. It is the ability to protect your peace no matter what situations arise. And once you discover that level of inner control, your life will never feel the same again. Because the world may still be chaotic, but your mind will remain steady. The world may still present challenges, but your mindset will remain strong. And the opinions of others will no longer determine how you feel about yourself. You will move forward with clarity. You will move forward with purpose. You will move forward with quiet confidence. And that confidence will continue to grow every single day you choose peace over reaction. Now, if this message helps shift your perspective even a little, remember that this journey of mental strength and emotional mastery continues. If you want more powerful insights that help you build an unshakable mindset, make sure you stay connected with this community. Subscribe to the channel and continue this journey with us here at the Motivational Audiobook Spot, where every story, every lesson, and every idea is designed to help you strengthen your mind, protect your peace, and become the best version of yourself. And remember this as you move forward today. Not everything deserves your reaction, but everything you focus on shapes the life you create. Choose your focus wisely.